So, what's the real difference between the people who seem to succeed all the time and, well, everyone else? We're going to dive into that right now, using the blueprint from Shiv Khera's incredible book, You Can Win. And just so you know, this isn't about some quick motivational speech. It's about changing the way you think for good.
This one quote, it's pretty much the entire book in a nutshell. And it's a total game changer because it tells us that success isn't some secret action you need to discover. It's about changing your approach to the things you're probably already doing every single day.
That's the big question, isn't it? It sounds so simple, but what does doing things differently actually look like when you're dealing with real life? Well, let's unpack that step by step right now.
Okay, so the absolute foundation of winning, according to Khera, has nothing to do with your background or your education or even how talented you are. Nope, it all starts with your attitude, the lens you choose to see the world through.
You've got to hear this classic story. Two salesmen get sent to a place where nobody wears shoes. The first one calls back and says, "Forget it, there's no market here." The second one calls back, totally excited, and says, "Send everything. We have a massive untapped opportunity." The situation was identical. The only thing that was different was their attitude. And that changed everything.
So if attitude is the lens, then your beliefs, well, they're like the invisible scripts that direct your every move. They're what tell you what you think is possible for yourself, which, you guessed it, directly controls what you're even willing to try in the first place.
Seriously, think about this for a second. A huge, powerful elephant could snap that little rope without even trying. So what's really holding it back?
This is the trap of our own limiting beliefs. When that elephant was just a baby, it was tied up with a strong rope. It tried and tried to break free, but it couldn't, so it gave up. Now, as a powerful adult, the rope is nothing, but the belief that it can't break free is still stuck in its head. The real barrier isn't physical anymore, it's mental. So how do we break our own tiny ropes? Khera says it's all about building genuine self-esteem. And this isn't about just, telling yourself you're great. It's about integrity. It's that deep confidence that grows when your thoughts, your words, and your actions are all singing the same tune. It's built every single time you keep a promise to yourself.
All right, so you've got the attitude and you're working on your beliefs. Now you need fuel for the journey. We're talking about what really drives a winner. Not some temporary push from the outside, but a fire that burns from within.
Let's break it down. External motivation is a push. It comes from a deadline, maybe a bonus, or even fear. It works for a little while, but it fades. Internal motivation, now that's a pull. It comes from your purpose, from your values. It's the reason you keep going even when nobody's watching. Getting that internal drive going takes the most energy right at the start. It's kind of like a rocket launch. Did you know a rocket uses about 80% of its fuel just to break free from Earth's gravity? It's the same for us. That first push to start a new habit is the hardest part. But once you're off the ground and you've got that momentum, it gets so much easier to keep going. And at the end of the day, that lasting motivation is tied directly to your character. This quote just nails the difference. Your reputation is fragile. It's what other people think. But your character, that's solid. That's what you know is true about yourself. It's about who you are when no one's looking. That's where real winning begins. Okay, let's get practical. How do you take all this inner work, the attitude, the beliefs, the motivation, and turn it into actual real-world results? Well, the answer is having a clear blueprint for action. It's like this. A person without any goals is like a ship without a rudder. It's just drifting around out there, pushed and pulled by the currents, totally wasting its potential. Your goals are the destination on your map, and they give you that rudder to steer your life where you want it to go. But listen, not all goals are created equal. Just look at the difference here. I want to save money. That's a wish. I will save $50,000 by December 31st. Now that is a plan. It's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Using that SMART framework turns foggy dreams into crystal clear targets. So your goals tell you where you're headed, but your daily habits are the things that actually move the ship. Think of every little action you take as planting a seed. Good habits are the seeds of success, and over time, they grow into an amazing harvest. Bad habits, they're like weeds that'll choke everything out if you let them. Okay, let's pull all this into the real world, where things get messy, because winning isn't about having a problem-free life.
It's all about how you handle the bumps in the road and maybe more importantly, who's in the car with you. So what's with this number? Over 1,000? Well, that's roughly how many times Colonel Sanders was told no when he was trying to sell his chicken recipe. More than 1,000 rejections. He could have quit at any point, but he didn't. And that perseverance is the only reason we know what KFC is today.
And this right here shows the fundamental difference in mindset when you hit a wall. One person just focuses on the problem, on the roadblock. But a winning mindset always asks, okay, what's the lesson here? Every failure isn't an end, it's just feedback for your next attempt.
And here's the best part. You don't have to face those setbacks alone. You know the old story, right? A single stick, it breaks easily. But you take a whole bundle of sticks and try to break them together, they're unbreakable. Success is a team sport.
So how do you build that kind of unbreakable support system? It really comes down to a few simple things. Winners listen way more than they talk. They genuinely give credit and appreciation. They help other people win. They're just open and honest. They build up other winners around them. And that really brings us to the ultimate message of you can win. If you remember just one thing from all this, please let it be this. Success isn't about your luck, your background, or even your talent. It's about choice. It's the result of all the small choices you make day in and day out.
So, we're back where we started. After everything we've just covered, what is the one small choice you're going to make? What's the one thing you will start doing differently, starting right now, today?